Joining me now is Loudoun County parent Ian Pryor and Kim Klasick, president of Red Renaissance. Welcome to you both. This story, this video is remarkable. It's exactly what parents are afraid is happening in the classroom. I'm going to go right to you, Ian. Why do you think that they want our children to hate each other? I mean, it just seems to me like they are forcing him to not be colorblind.
Well, that's absolutely correct. And look, first of all, bravo to that kid for standing up for what he believes in. But I want to back it up a little bit. 2 weeks ago, you had the white wine commie mommies of Chardonnay Antifa doxing other parents for opposing critical race theory in schools. On Friday, you had an advisory committee of Loudoun County Public Schools putting out a call to action to silence the opposition for people that oppose critical race theory. And then now you have this video that shows this teacher confronting the kid about really just being colorblind. And all along the way, they say, we're just teaching equity. We're just teaching equity. Well, now we know what equity is. Equity is tearing up the principles of equality that Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, and Jackie Robinson fought for. And parents need to know what's going on in their schools. And it's not just here in Loudoun, it's everywhere in America.
Kim, I mean, you just saw how deceptive that statement was. He said, oh, it's not part of our framework, but their teachers are teaching it. And by the way, we've just come out of a pandemic where our children are falling behind in math and reading and everything else they need. What's going on here?
No, Rachel, you're absolutely right. Just so your viewers know, I am a mother, and this is very upsetting to me because I have a biracial child, and this critical race theory or equity, whatever they want to call it, puts her in a quite a predicament, really, because she has a white father and a black mother, and they're making them acknowledge race and pitting them against each other. Now, like you said, we were just in a pandemic. You know, students are just getting back to class. As far as I know, we pay taxes for kids to get an education as far as math, science, English. You know, this is the role of a parent to talk about something as unimportant as race. And, you know, down there in Loudoun County back in 2018, as Ian actually wrote up, they spent $422,000 of taxpayer dollars on this equity leadership program or critical race theory. So this is part of their plan, and I really need teachers and parents to stand up to this.
Yeah, you're so right. They're teaching kids to hate each other, but also themselves. You know, I'm half Mexican and half Spanish. And within the Hispanic community, they think that, you know, my mom must be an imperialist. And it's like they want me to hate myself or hate my parents. I mean, the whole critical race theory is ridiculous. It's so anti-American. It's just destroying this country. Ian, I really commend you because you are fighting back in a really important way. Are you seeing any advancement? Are parents getting courage from seeing what you're doing in Virginia?
Absolutely. And to talk about something that Kim said, I've heard from many parents dealing with the same thing, biracial parents that have kids, and they don't know how to explain this to them. Yeah. But I think one of the other things that's very important is, you know, this critical race theory issue is really just a racket, okay? So you have the folks that started BLM, right? They all went to elite colleges with sociology, political science degrees, and now they're making money off it. And then you have the equity consultants, right? And the equity consultants are hired for hundreds of thousands of dollars to come in and do, you know, a racism assessment. Well, do you think they're going to come back and say, oh, gee, I didn't find anything? So they're making money. And then you've got, you know, Ibram Kendi and Robin DiAngelo charging 20 grand an hour to talk about their books that, quite frankly, read like they were written in, you know, during a bad LSD trip. And they're all making tons of money off this, and they're hurting students, and they're hurting parents, and they're dividing Americans.
I'm so glad you bring up the racket around it. It really is a cottage industry, and people forget that. You know, listen, again, both of you are such great voices in this. We need to fight back. This is not going away. BLM, by the way, their curriculum is now gaining quite a momentum all across the country and not just in blue states. So this is a really important moment for parents to pay attention to what's happening in their school boards and in their curriculums. Both of you have been fantastic on this. Thanks for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Thank you.